Join us each week for some booze-free banter about life without booze.
If you're entertaining the idea of cutting back your booze by a day, a week, a month, or for the rest of your life, we would love for you to tune in.
Buckle up and come along for a ride that may just change your life. Just a heads up, some of our conversations we have may be triggering for some. Reach out to your local resource support centre. If you're in Australia, that's Lifeline 131114. Maso.
Breeza.
I love starting off a podcast with a Maso.
And I love throwing it back with a Breeza.
They've both actually got good rings to it, don't they?
Don't they? Sound like quite the team. I want to be their best friends.
Same. How are you?
Yeah, I'm so good. How about you? How's your week been?
Oh, there's a garbo truck just going past, so you might have to excuse that noise.
Don't worry.
He's actually reversing down the street, like doing a full
backing it up
kamikaze. He must have forgot a bin.
Oh no.
Yes, I've had a good week. I've actually had some chippies at my house building a deck.
A deck.
Not to be confused with dick. So I love a good outdoor deck just to chill out, get a bit of sun, socialise and just hang out on. So that's it's nearly completed, which is exciting.
Amazing.
But funny little side note. So my dog, her name's Chili. I don't think you've met my dog, Mason.
I met Chili with a pup when you very first got her at Carly's. You brought her over to Carly's when we were really hungover. That's right. Lying around on the floor.
And I think I was fresh. You guys have been to a wedding, hadn't you?
Something. Yeah.
So Chili, for our listeners, is a jug, which is a Jack Russell cross pug. Yeah. So she's pretty loose. She's got the energy of a Jack Russell and the cheekiness of a pug. So they're the combinations bloody dynamite. So anyway, I said to the chippies, I kept banging on, Chili will escape. If you don't shut the gate behind you, she will escape. So just be really mindful of that. And they've been great. They've been so good. The main guy's yep, I've got a dog at home exactly the same, so all good. So they've been super, super awesome. But yesterday I was just beavering away on my computer.
Beavering.
I love it. Yeah, I love the word beavering. I was beavering away, so I'm still working from home this week I am. And my window that in my home office looks out to the front of my house. So anyway, next minute I see The Apprentice sprinting past the front of the house. And I'm like, oh God, I reckon Chili's escaped. I'm like, no, I'll just keep working away. Da-da, toodle, toodle, toodle. The next 5 minutes later, young mate's come back looking flustered. But with a big smile on his face, and I'll give him a big wave out the window, just cracked up laughing. He had his quarter eventually. She's a bloody shit of a dog. She just runs off and you can't catch her. She just sprints.
Oh, just gets a moment, opportunity. Houdini out of there. Boom. Love it.
She did it about a month ago as well. I had the pipe doctor here. They were doing I had a burst water, a storm drain, and same thing happened. Bang. So literally there was two of them and myself and my son running down the street trying to chase her. So that was entertaining.
So good. I love that.
What about you, Maso? What's been going on in your week?
Yeah, so I've had a cracker. I was contacted by a company called, it is on my At-Risk official, my little body positivity, body neutrality page, by a company called Gut Performance. They had seen that I was vegetarian, gluten-free. They probably saw more so that I was gluten-free. And it's this product about your gut, and I think we underestimate, or we're only just learning about how important gut health is. Gut is like your other brain, 70 to 80% of your immune system is in your gut. It's as important as your nervous system and your heart and brain health. It's just as important. And we're only just discovering that the correlation between your gut health and mental health of what effects that has. And I say that only from my personal experience with when I've eaten something and how I feel the next day, whether I'm edgy, antsy, angry, brain fog, and it's what I've eaten the day before. So this whole gluten-free situation has been something, I think 2015 I was diagnosed, but I'm still learning a lot about it. But other gut issues as well. But anyway, they sent me these 2 tubs, and mate, it has been an absolute game changer. And I'm not one for plugging anything that I don't 127 million% believe in, but it has made such a difference. Like bloating was gone straight away. I could get into the whole bowel thing. My bowel, I'll go there, may as well. I'm really regular because I'm vegetarian anyway, like I'm first thing in the morning. But as soon as I started using this stuff, it just felt like it was a proper clean out. Like I'm talking, it's a good poo. It's not like...
This is solid 10 out of 10.
It's a 10 out of 10. Like if you were to rate poo, it's good. But mine were always anyway. But anyway, this gut performance, it helps with bloating, skin, energy levels, mood, immune system, intestinal absorption, digestion, and muscle performance and recovery and energy. And the biggest thing for me, so I'm so pumped about, is sleep. It has helped with my sleep so much. I never used to be able to sleep through the night ever. Like I would wake up several times a night. And I used to get up and actually binge because it must have been my body and my stomach waking me up. It's a whole...
What do you mean? You used to get up and eat?
Yeah, I used to get up at like 11 or 12 o'clock and just eat like yogurt and a banana and some protein. Like my body was just craving it. And I think it might have been my gut going, hey, I'm not getting enough nutrients or whatever I'm getting here. So weird. And then I would get up and go like have a wee, maybe definitely once, if not twice a night. And now I'm not doing that. I'm sleeping through the night. Therefore, I'm waking up refreshed. I've got more energy during the day. I'm just like, I'm loving it. So yeah, it's a gut performance. And I'm actually on the grid as well. I did a road test after Mamma Mia. I did a road test and then I did a review as well. And they put me on the grid, which is so nice. It's so amazing. And they're sending me some more stuff with collagen. So I'll tell you about that.
Oh, bang.
Yeah,
What's
gut performance.
Name drop. It's called Gut Performance.
It's called Gut Performance at gut_performance. And it's got like a green logo. And they're just gorgeous. They're so nice, the girls and the ladies, and it's little family situation. But yeah, and it's not like you know how if you take pills or powders or potions, if you've ever tried like a pre-workout or anything, it tastes really chemically and it's really, really sweet and yucky. Like it just feels like you're putting something back. This is all natural. It's all food. Like it's actually just food.
What flavour are you running?
This one is like a strawberry or raspberry, and then I think they're sending me one with blackcurrant. But it's really easy and it's not that. It tastes really natural. It just tastes like a really natural, good product. So, yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all about it.
Daily? You having it daily in the morning?
Every morning, yeah. Just smash it down in water. And one of the girls that had bought some as well, she commented the other day and she says the same thing, how much her bloating is gone, bowel movements are all sorted, energy and sleep was a big thing for her as well. So, yeah, it's amazing. So,
boxes there.
Yeah, I just got Dad on it to it this morning, actually.
Oh, go Dad. Love that. Love that.
Yeah, so that's it. That's my week.
Just side note, the garbo's back again. He's done another reverse blocky.
He's just hooning around.
He's on the loose.
Oh, look out.
A rogue garbo.
Rogue garbo.
You gotta have shade on it. Shade on it.
Shame story. So Fulham, a suburb in London, has a bar called the Slug and Lettuce, which was nicknamed Slut and Legless. It was kind of like, it was just used to heave. It was kind of like a walkabout, like lots of Aussies went there.
Bit of a cesspit, wasn't it?
Yeah, real cesspit. And there was a song that would come on at the end of the night. Remember that song, Blow Your Whistle? Remember that song? And that would come on at the end of the night and all the bar staff would jump up on the bar and take their tops off, right?
Like birds and everything.
Yeah, birds, like would rip their tops off so they dance around. Anyway, so that was all, everyone's up and about. Bar closes, we all pile out outside, and everyone's like milling around outside the Slut and Legless. And I don't know, I can't decide whether it was a post office box or a bin, but I've ended up on top of something, took my belt off, was swinging around my head, going, blow your whistle, like really getting amongst it, and was lassoing this belt, and everyone started singing, yeah, blow your whistle, and I launched that belt into the crowd, and I don't know where it went, and I hope no one's injured, and I'm so sorry. But I'm not doing that sober.
Did it have a big belt buckle on it?
Big Harley Davidson belt buckle. or Jim Beam or Jack Daniels Big Black. No, it didn't. But it was like who's slinging their belt into the crowd.
Not sober Maso.
Not sober Maso. Like what a dero.
What a dero. But
Yeah.
like quite funny as a spectator.
Like really held the crowd, like up on my podium, like just thought it was my
Had your
concert.
moment.
Yep, had my moment in the slut and legless. What a time. It was a time.
What a time to be alive.
Go, Breeza.
Well, mine's a bit more sinister. Again, I'm going to take you back to my 20s.
Yes.
I was young. I reckon it potentially could have been 19. It was back in my netball days again at the Borough
Yep.
Footy Club. And every once a year they'd have a $1,000 draw.
Oh, yeah.
Remember them? Yeah.
One, like the biggest one of the year.
So I'll set the scene. So you'd pay $20 and you get a ticket to win $1,000. And that $20 would also give you 2 hours of free piss. So like the VB pots were lined up. It would be held at the club rooms. So yeah, I remember one of the times I reckon I had like 8 pots because it'd be like you'd drink from 12 till 2 for free. And so at like 1:45 you'd be running up to the bar and just loading up on pots. I reckon I was like 10 deep in. And so got hammered, and then we were staying back at my friend's house who lived in Eagle Hawk. So myself and 2 other friends, it was only like a, I don't know, 5-minute walk, stumble from the Oval to her house. And for some reason, we thought it would be a great idea to take a sign off the Oval. You know how they have sponsor signs? Like, so these hardworking businesses pay money to the football club to support the football club, and they get a bit of advertising on the Oval. So we thought in our drunk wisdom that we'd take one of these signs. I don't know if it was loose. I can't imagine us trying to like unscrew it. So it must have been loose. So we took it, we walked it home to my friend's house. And we got the biggest spray off her dad. He was just livid that we were being so disrespectful, taking this like someone's, advertising. And rightly so. Like I look back and I'm like, can't believe I did that. Like I obviously have a business now, and I'm like, I would bloody throttle someone if they did that to me. So he just ripped us a new one, and we had to tootle back to the Oval and put the sign back. So it all ended well. But I'm not a thief. And yeah, myself and my 2 friends thought that would be a good idea to, steal a sign and bring it back. I don't know what we're going to do with it. Like, I don't know.
Put it over the outdoor spa along with all the other memorabilia and road signs and, like witches' hats that people pick up along the way.
That's it. So I do thank you to my dad, my friend's dad, for, going off at us.
That's good.
I think we sobered up pretty quick. I'm like, oh, God. And we're like, what are we doing? And we tootled back and,
That's great.
Put the sign back where it belonged.
Would you tell us who the sign was?
Can't remember, mate.
Oh, okay.
It would have been like a local business. Yeah.
Would have been a good opportunity to do a public apology for them.
I know.
Although you put it back, so it doesn't
Put it
really
back.
count.
So they're none the wiser.
Yeah,
none the wiser. But I do, massive thanks to my friend's dad. You're a bloody legend.
What a champion. And plus, if it was loose, you've actually done him a favour and tightened it back up and put it back.
Well, that's right.
So,
that's right. And, we gave him some advertising as we were walking along the main road, like with this sign. So, full rat bags.
Oh, I love that, the portable advertising.
We're ahead of our time. Alrighty, what are we talking about this week, Maso?
Yes, we're going.
What's that topic?
We are going against the grain. We are empowering audience to just go for it. And we're going to talk about the benefits of going alcohol-free.
Yeah, benefits are a biggie for me. And I've written down 10 actually that we're going to talk about because I think the benefits are something that people need to hear about so they too can perhaps maybe make some better choices or with alcohol, or just to know that life without alcohol is really good.
Yes, too right.
It's really, really good. So let's crack into it, shall we?
Crack on.
First cab off the rank for me, and I used to hear this like when I had started being sober curious, people used to always bang on about the clarity. I'm like, what is clarity? Like, it's sort of like, how do you describe clarity? And it's really hard to describe. I don't know if you've got any words to to back me up here, Maso, but
I won't stop banging on about it though.
Clarity, it's really hard to describe, but it's a thing. It's a thing that I have really discovered. I reckon it was like the 4th week after I ditched the booze, is just this clarity.
Yeah. Everything's clear.
Yes.
It's just I can't. You can't even really put it into words, but it's actually we should Google that. What's the definition?
We should Google it.
Keep talking. I'll see what they say.
Have a look at Google. And for me, it's almost like you're now looking at life through a different lens.
Yes.
Almost like through rose-coloured glasses, I suppose. But, yeah, just the clarity, and I suppose also from that is a less – like I always used to describe my head as a bit foggy if the next day after a sesh, like you'd be a bit foggy on the Sunday, so you might start drinking again, or on the Monday at work you'd still be a little bit foggy, but the fog has lifted.
Yes, clear day. It's like a clearest, bluest sky day every day. Like sun shining, not a cloud in the sky. So they say clarity. So this is from the Oxford Dictionary.
Straight to the top.
Yeah, the quality of being coherent and intelligible. Is that have I pronounced that?
I don't know. We'll run with it.
We're going with it. So, or number 2 is the quality of transparency and or purity. So the quality of transparency or purity. So the crystal clarity of water.
Nice.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Yes. I've absolutely butchered those, but
our listeners get the gist.
It's been a while since I've deep dived into a dictionary. But I'm all about it now. Yes. So
I was actually just speaking about dictionaries. I bought this game for the kids the other day. And you got to make it's almost like a new age Scrabble, and it says you can have when it's someone else's turn, you can be looking up words in dictionary. And I was like, cool. But I said to the kids, I don't have a dictionary. Like who has a dictionary these days? So we used my phone instead, which was fine. But I just dictionary. I need to go and buy one.
Yeah, back on it. I remember having a thesaurus. I love a thesaurus.
A thesaurus, yes.
I love a thesaurus.
I love the word thesaurus.
Thesaurus, yes.
Clarity.
I love
it. Got the giggles. Clarity for you. Sorry to chop you off there, Maso, but when did you start feeling it?
So it was when I'll go back to 2011 when I had that 14 months off, and it just sort of, no one had told me what it was going to be like to give booze a spell, and nor was I trying to be sober. Like I was going through a really emotional time, and I knew that that's a story for another day, but I just started to notice this clarity, and I just have wanted back on that clarity wagon for so many years because I know how good it is, and it's something you can't buy, you can't exercise for it, you can't drink for it, you can't. It's something that just happens, and I can't rave more highly about it. And it's exactly what we're banging on about. The pure water, the clear blue sky in your head. Every day. Everything is just, it's like that lens in your head every day for everything that you focus on in life. Yeah,
how good. What about next one for you, Maso? What did you have next?
Oh, I've got a whole run. So I'll probably go with physical benefits, actually. Oh, actually, no, we'll carry on with the clarity thing.
All right.
Where everything is just clearer. I feel like I know who I am and where I'm going a lot more. I'm not really sure where that is, but I feel like I'm confident. I'm not bogged down with doing my head in.
Yes.
What did I say last night? Will they like me? Should I send apology messages out? Like, you're not bogged down with that shame and guilt and embarrassment or remorse.
And you know what? That also then clears your head for more good stuff to pop in, like creativity and all these other bits and bobs.
Correct, yeah.
To help you, be more focused, productive, all that sort of jazz.
Yeah, exactly. And so just to round up with what I was thinking with clarity is you're able to harness your emotions a lot more and be able to, I feel like I've been able to have a more measured response and pause before I react or overreact. Look, I don't overreact anymore. Oh, my partner would think, did you fart? But yeah, so it's just everything's just clearer, and it's just a better balanced life, isn't it?
Yep, that's a biggie. Clarity is a biggie. And it's something that, as I said, I didn't get it until I got it.
Yes.
And now I have it every day.
Did you know, going back, did you know that was going to happen, or did you hear about it after?
Well, no, I'd heard like people, as I said, like they just kept banging on about clarity. Like when I was scrolling on Instagram, when I ditched the booze to get some sort of inspo and to stay on track, everyone kept talking about this clarity. I'm like, what is it? Like, I don't get it. So then when I got it, I'm like, now I actually get it.
Yes. Isn't it amazing?
Yes. And you don't know until you know.
Yeah, you don't know until you know. It's true.
Yeah.
Oh,
and that was my like
clarity. Hashtag clarity.
Hashtag clarity is a biggie. Massive one.
That's probably the biggest one, yeah.
100%.
Because then if everything just sort of branches off from that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Which is a good segue.
I
love a good segue.
Love it. Yeah.
For me, focus.
Oh, yeah, good.
Like, again, and that's probably intertwined with clarity a little bit, but that fog that I mentioned before, that fog has lifted, so you have more focus. And I actually was speaking to a friend on the weekend who's also ditched the booze, and she said, when I don't drink, I'm more productive. When I'm more productive, I make more money, and I like spending money.
Yeah.
That's gold.
I love that.
Yeah.
So good. I love that. Yes. The productive, the focus, it's just everything just falls in, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Back to me.
Back to you. Handball.
Handball. With that, you get more energy and you've got like the energy levels are through the roof.
That was my next one on the list.
Oh, there you go. Take over.
No, you go.
Yeah, you've just got more energy. Like you're not as sluggish, you're not waking up real dusty. Like the biggest thing I notice is when I'd go to the gym the next day and I do a lot of HIIT classes, and when I'm drinking, I'm sluggish and can't be fucked. But when I'm not drinking, I'm just setting that gym on fire. Like it's just, I'm lifting heavier, I'm moving better, everything's just stronger and faster and more alert. Yeah, it's a cracker. Energy.
And so you touched on it before, Maso. The biggest one for me with energy is like when you get out of bed.
Yes.
And you just sort of like almost like you don't launch out of bed, but you do get out of bed and you're not sort of looking like this, sluggish sloth. you're sort of like got a bit of a spring in your step.
Yeah.
And I was on a massive roll when I stopped drinking. I was on a massive roll of getting out of bed at 6 a.m. and doing a little Pilates sesh.
Yeah.
I've fallen off the bandwagon, as you do from time to time. But, alcohol doesn't resolve all your issues, all your problems. So I am going to get back on that bandwagon because, I was feeling so good when I was rolling out of bed at 6 a.m., do my little Pilates sesh and then crack onto the day. That was just getting to those routines was such a good thing. But I still find now, even though I'm not doing that at the moment, even getting up at 6:30, I'm still so much more awake when I wake up.
Yes. Up and about.
Which I think actually that follows on from getting better sleep.
Yeah.
Like I think if you wake up more fresh because you are getting better sleep.
Yes, exactly. And that's William Porter talks about it, your mate. You sent me the podcast and that book that's in Darwin.
So go buy it again.
Yeah, so Alcohol Explained talks about what happens with sleep. And I thought I was the only one that, like, I could have one glass of wine and I would still wake up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and be ding, wide awake and couldn't go back to sleep. So it wouldn't matter whether I had one glass of wine or 3 bottles of wine, I would still wake up. He's got the scientific stuff about that, which is really, really interesting, but it's an actual thing. So, yeah, anyway, talking about sleep, yeah.
And that window, Maso, I think that 2 to 3 window you mentioned on the Chinese sleep calendar, I think it's called the Chinese sleep calendar if you Google it. It's got a wheel of like times of the day and what your organs are doing. And that 2 and 3 a.m. window is your liver.
Yes, there we go. Exactly.
So your liver's going off its head trying to process the alcohol.
Yes, and also going back on the gut as well is that your body, your stomach is starting to wake up. The enzymes are being released and it's starting to clean itself. So that's why you might wake up at that time and your body's going like your tummy does that.
Like a pig. It's a good one.
So that's why that gut performance, circling back to my newest favourite thing in the whole wide world, has just made such a difference. I don't get that anymore. I'm not woken up by my gut going, but also obviously removed alcohol as well. But yeah, it goes hand in hand.
And did you ever have that belief? I don't know if anyone else did, but I certainly did, that if you were like, you'd knock yourself out with alcohol to have a good sleep. Like you drink, and this happened to me, like, I just thought it was a thing. And I remember when I was traveling around Australia up in the top end, it was really hot. So I would just like get really pissed and to pass out and have a good sleep. But in actual fact, I was having a shit sleep but didn't realise it.
Yes.
So you'd think you had the best sleep because you passed out. But in actual fact, your body, you didn't. And again, scientific facts in William Porter's book.
Yeah. So sleep, it's true. I think I was just always anxious about my sleep because I always slept shit, so it wouldn't matter. Like, so I wasn't. But I know what you're talking about is very, very common. People drink to sleep well, but I was just a shit sleeper. Not no more though. With gut performance, anyway. Where did we get to? So
And
yeah, no booze.
So we got to energy.
Yeah. So which also what you were talking about with focus was you've got more drive and motivation to do more things and see more things. And I think you are deep diving into nature. Like you, all of a sudden you've discovered nature. It's like you've never seen it before. It's like you've been blind and now you can all of a sudden see. Everything's greener, brighter. Don't you think? Like you've doubled up. You went back to back in bright.
Love a bit of nature. That was one of my things, Maso, is spending more time in nature. That was like one of my benefits.
Yes, it is.
Because you have more time.
Yes.
Actually, and you want to do stuff. Like you actually want to explore, you want to have more adventure.
Yeah.
So you do it out in nature.
Exactly. And I was listening to Danny Carr's podcast this morning, How I Quit Alcohol, our girl from Castlemaine, our country girl.
Yes, love her.
And she was interviewing a lady, and she was talking that she's taken up whitewater rafting, which absolutely terrifies me. But she was talking about the adrenaline that sort of high adrenaline activities do is the perfect replacement for giving up alcohol. So say Danny also wants to surf, and now moving to Torquay, I'm going to be a surfer, just FYI.
Surfer girl. Yeah,
I will be a surfer girl. And in fact, they were talking about surfing. They did some research. She works with some youth people, this lady she was interviewing. And they say that surfing is the best thing for your mental health, longevity, like you can sustain, surfing forever. Whereas, how you go to the gym, you've got to slog it out and you fall off the, you go. It can be consistent, but it can be a bit of a drag, whereas surfing is something where you're using whole body and the mental health benefits of that just outweigh any other activity. Isn't that amazing?
That's so cool.
Yeah. And so, getting that activity, once you ditch the booze, you delve into activities you would not have normally done, because our whole drinking was revolved around which bar? Pub crawl. It was just, galordy.
So it's almost like you get your kicks elsewhere.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I said explore alcohol-free drinks, wholesome activities such as hikes and nature. Yeah.
Yeah, love it. I'm loving the hiking at the moment.
Yeah.
Loving it.
Get like Jen, get the whole setup, the backpack boots, get your hiking stick.
Hiking and bike riding. And thankfully in Bendigo there's some really beautiful bike tracks in the bush that you can go, like you can have a spin in.
Yeah, I like it. Good. Get a tandem bike. We should get fun.
Little bike adventures, tandem bike adventures.
You're always screwed if you're at the front because the one at the back just puts their feet up. And
they kick back on the sly.
Oh, good. Okay, what else you got, Breeza?
Another one for me is less takeaway.
Oh, Lord.
I couldn't tell you how many cheeseburgers I ate in my 20s on a Sunday. That was a big decade. Well, sometimes you couldn't get the double cheeseburgers, but I do enjoy a double cheeseburger.
So you pickle in or pickle out?
I'll pickle in. Shit, yeah. And I will, if you want to throw yours out, I'm happy to take it on board.
Did you ever throw a pickle at a window?
Yeah. In Macca's, in the restaurant, used to like fling it against the wall. I reckon I would have been like in high school when I did that maybe once, like a real rebel. But yeah, like takeaway, because again, you'd wake up hung. So you get one of your mates to do like a KFC run or a Macca's run. Yeah, bucket. And you'd think you'd be soaking up your alcohol and eating this like filthy food, and then you'd feel shitter afterwards.
Mate, do you know what when I was living with Carly and my brother, we had this system. So we'd go to Macca's for breakfast, so get a, bacon, egg, McMuff. And then for lunch we'd have KF, so the Colonel. We'd get a bucket and some like Twister meal with a 7-Up or Mountain Dew. And then dinner we'd have pizza, and it was called Goofy's. And Goofy's was less than 100 metres, but we'd get it delivered.
Imagine if Uber Eats was around back in our day. Imagine.
Honestly, so the trifecta Sunday of just shit food, and we used to watch. This is so weird. We used to watch like Saw. Remember the Saw movies?
Little sickos.
Oh, so crook, hungover, going through the. Oh, anyway, push on. Yes, let's take away.
And like no more dirty kebabs.
No.
I could eat so much when I was pissed.
Oh, same.
Just inhale food like a real animal.
Yeah, me too. Actually, it's just on that. Ty would always say to my partner, Ty, he would always say to me, I don't know why I need to introduce him then.
Hi, Ty.
My partner, Ty, if we haven't already mentioned. So he could never understand that whenever we went anywhere, I would always have to have food or a snack with my wine. Like I couldn't just drink wine. He would drink wine after the meal, like weird, but I had to always have.
Yeah, they go hand in hand.
Snack. Yeah, you can't not have it together. So, yeah, and I would just trough it too. There was an endless pit. Was it the magic pudding? Was that the thing that just wouldn't go away?
Don't know.
Do you not remember that? Anyway, push on.
So, yeah, takeaway's a biggie.
Yep.
For me. And one I just thought of then is, and I reckon you can relate to this one too, Maso, is no more darts.
Oh, I love the darts. I had such a affection and a filthy affair, and I loved ciggies so much.
Yeah.
I used to have these real sweet cargo. It's like camo colour, but they were like faded a little bit.
I totally remember them. You won them in London. You had them in London, didn't you?
I used to go doofing in them. They used to have like pockets down at the bottom as well, like ankles. So I'd have like about 5 decks of darts, like one in each pocket.
Fully prepared.
They're only Marlboro Lights 20s, but
yeah, £5 quid for a deck of 20s,
or two quid 20p for a deck of 10. You could get 10 soft pack.
Just for a sneaky sesh.
If you had a coin because you wanted to get your Greg's pasty.
So, and I was thinking about this last night because, yeah, like I'd crack a beer and then I'd be like instantly want a dart. I don't know whether I just wanted something in my other hand or not.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I just crave, when I tasted alcohol, I'd crave a dart. Yeah. So I did a lot of darting, and, I still might have a puff. We're
not ruling it out.
But I'm not craving them because I'm not drinking.
Yeah, there you go. There was something a little bit romantic about having a dart and drinking a dart, wasn't it? It just went hand in hand. And I think lots of people are the same. Like I think I put a poll up on Lisk a while ago about, we were smoking, and most people couldn't answer it. But then when I'd re-polled and said social smoker only when I drink, everyone was all over it. And they were like, yeah. Right.
And, you'd make buddies, like you'd go out to the smokers area and light up a dirty dart, and you'd make friends like over a gas bar.
Yeah. Hey, little side note, I actually got hypnotherapy to give up the darts. Yeah.
Yes, tell us about that.
Hypnotherapy with NLP. So it was my dad actually had busted me smoking one day when I'd come home from a visit from the UK. And he never asked me to do anything. Like he'll just guide, but he'll never say you should do this. But he did. He said, why don't you get hypnotised? So I got straight back to the UK and I rang up just whoever, didn't do any research, found this lady in Manchester, didn't even really know anything about it, but it was so amazing. I'm going to take you on a journey.
Buckle up.
Yeah, buckle up. So you had to change the type of cigarettes that you're smoking, so change the brand because they're all laced and flavoured with different flavours as well. So you're not enjoying that same cigarette. Then you have to count the amount of puffs you're having of each cigarette. You know how when people give up, they normally go, oh, yeah, instead of having 10 darts, I had 9. Mm-hmm. Well, what they do is they have you can have 10, you can still have 10 darts, but you've got to count the amount of puffs you have that day. So every cigarette, firstly, you're not enjoying the flavour and then you're concentrating how many puffs. So you might only have 7 puffs on that day and then it goes down to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Even on the last day, you can still have 10 cigarettes, but you're only having 1 puff of them. So it's a bit of a nuisance, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, so you're concentrating. And then instead of sitting down, because I wasn't very much I had a real emotional attachment to the durry. So I would sit down out in the backyard with a coffee, having a real moment, being away from Australia, like just this whole serene situation. And I would never walk and dart, because it was a real moment. So I would sit out in the backyard. So instead of sitting down, I'd stand up. Instead of having it out the back, I'd have it out the front. Instead of having it with the coffee, you have the coffee afterwards. It's just shaking up that routine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then on the last day, you have like a reminder jar. So every cigarette that you're having 1 puff and then you put it out and you put it in this little reminder jar and they keep going. And the reminder jar was that if you felt like having a cigarette after your last hypnotherapy session, you just open the lid of that jar and take a smell and it will put you off. I cannot believe I never had to go to the jar. People that I was living with did, and they said it was absolutely rancid. But I couldn't believe it. I could not believe how it just nipped it in the bud. Didn't have a dart. Couldn't go near a Taylor cigarette ever again. It was just And
so is that? Did you say it's hypno or NLP?
It's both. So it's hypnotherapy with NLP. Yeah, it was amazing. So yeah, I know, nuts,
that's incredible.
It was absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, and particularly because I loved them so much, I couldn't believe. I'm all for it. Couldn't recommend that any more highly. So yeah, that's me. Where else are we up to? What else have you got on your list, Breeza?
I've got more time. I've got more time on my hands since not boozing on, which has led to a tidier house.
Oh.
I'm not one. I'm domestically challenged. I'll put it out there.
Oh, me too.
I do have a bloody gun of a cleaner. She's a weapon. She's like the best thing ever. And so she's a weapon. She comes in here like once a fortnight, and I continue to keep the house clean and tidy.
Good. Yeah.
So throughout those 2 weeks when in between visits. So I feel like I'm a little bit more house proud as well. Like I like to keep things neater, whereas I don't know about you, but if you're hungover on the couch and you're just surrounded by shit, you're just you just roll with it.
It's too hard. It's too hard.
Yeah, you just want to sloth around and just, be a part of the mess.
Yeah, it matches your mood.
Yes.
Yeah.
And actually my cleaner was saying the other day, because she's only just started coming back because of COVID.
Yeah.
And she said clients were messaging her saying, I really need you to come to the house for my mental health. I need the house clean.
Wow. Yes.
For mental health. I'm like, yes, there's such a link there.
It's true. When you're living in a pigsty, you feel like a pig.
Yep. Yeah.
And, mate, I am all for the cleaners. If you can afford a cleaner, I am all for it. It absolutely saves relationships. And I do enjoy having a big clean, but I've got to be in the mood for it. It takes all day.
Yeah. And I look at it as an investment in my mental health. The money I'm paying her, I'm like, this is helping me. It's helping the kids. It's helping everything in my life. So why wouldn't I?
Yeah, helping her.
Helping her, and she's a legend.
Yes, I'm into it. Good one. Good call. More time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being a parent, and I've spoken about this on my Instagram account, I Flaunt AF Drinks, little plug, is I like to call it the 3 Ps. So I'm more present, I'm more playful, and I'm more patient with my children.
Love this so much.
And you know what? I feel like parenting is easier to do without alcohol.
Yeah.
Because you're not tired, you're not grumpy, you're not thinking about, I just want to booze on. The kids are an immigrants because they're like, they want food. I'm trying to just have a sesh. So, not that I wouldn't neglect my children.
Little party poopers.
But I just feel like I am a better parent to my kids when alcohol is not in my life.
Yes, that's so good.
And yeah, why wouldn't you want to be a better parent? Like
present.
And again, didn't know that this would be an outcome or a benefit of not drinking. Didn't know. This is another little surprise package.
A little nugget.
Little nugget. And that's actually one thing I want us to talk about in another session, Maso, is mummy wine culture.
Yeah.
And how I see it and how you see it as well.
Oh, good one.
Yeah,
that'll be really good.
You would be wrapped up in it in some capacity, and you would see it from a different lens as to how I see it. So we'll unpack that little beauty.
Yep, stand by for that.
Stand by.
That's really good. I love the 3 Ps. I love it. That's really, really good.
Yeah,
and you didn't even know it was a thing.
Didn't know it was a thing. Yeah, I was pretty up about that.
Yeah.
The only other one is I think another observation. I think I'm more polite to people. I was just writing down some things last night, and I was like, I feel like I'm more polite again because I'm not moody, I'm not grumpy, I'm not tired, I'm not hungover.
Yeah.
I'm more polite. I give people more time, and just like, I think I'm a bit more, I don't know, understanding and open, and just more polite.
Yeah, I love that. A bit more empathy and compassion instead of can't be fucked. I think I've got to agree with you there. Not saying about you being polite. You've stopped being a rude dude and all
a rude bitch.
No, but I think I agree. I feel like, definitely when I'm on the gas, I didn't realise how aggressive and mouthy I was. I was pretty lippy. I thought it was quite funny, but I think sometimes I could have been a little bit abrasive. So
a bit of acid tongue.
Yeah, a little bit. So I'm a bit... Anyway, it's a story for another time. I've got so many stories for another time.
Park them up. We got plenty of time.
Yeah. Yes. How'd we go? Did you have any more on your list?
No, I'm all out.
Okay.
All clear race 5.
I'll hit you with a few physical benefits that's happened. Skin.
Yes.
Skin. It's not as puffy. Like, you know how puffy and just swollen your skin was all the time? Red and blotchy. Just a bit of a mess. So, skin's definitely improved. Hair is shinier. Nails aren't as brittle. Eyes not as bloodshot and tired. They've become really sparkly and clear. Eyes are clarity, like you can see. I think that's the main one a lot of people say is how sparkly people's eyes get, like the whites of our eyes get really clear from no booze, don't you reckon?
Love that one.
Yeah,
I love that one. The eyes for me, I was running some Johnny English bags.
May he rest in peace. Is he dead?
No, I don't think
I think he died.
Google.
Rest in peace.
Shit, rest in peace, because I did enjoy him as an artist.
Yeah. What a guy.
There you go. He was
I liked him too. He had a cool mullet.
He had a cool mullet. And if for our overseas listeners, he was an Aussie singer, actor, musician, and songwriter. Bit of a legend.
Yeah, he was real good. Yeah. Rest in peace, Johnny English. And thanks for your bags under your eyes that we can refer to.
That are now gone. on my eyes.
So also like breath, lips and tongue. Like my lips used to get real dry, and come on, like whenever you'd rock around the next day, like the beer breath. Actually, I've got to say, like say Ty would be having a few beers. I actually quite liked that beer breath. It made it was quite sexy, and it made me feel like a bit of a party.
Yes,
because you're so
totally relate.
But it's the next day that beer breath on my own when you've had a real boozy night. You can smell it just beating off people. Like it's like
foul.
Yucko. So
but you can't smell on yourself, can you? I don't reckon you can smell on yourself.
No. So I kind of sorry to all the people that have just disturbed your nasal passages with my next day stank. The other things that were really big for me is, and I don't promote weight loss by any means, but the kgs just drop off. They really do. Like the first time that I gave up the gas, I lost like 10 kilos without, just no worries. And that's because you're not eating garbage. Like, alcohol is empty calories, and you're making really poor food choices when you're on the gas as well. Wine and cheese. Wine and cheese, and not just one platter. Let's have two, dessert, all the things. Like you lose all inhibitions and you're just troffering. I mean, who wants quinoa and kale salad when you're on the gas? No one ever. Do you know what I mean?
That makes sense, salad.
Yeah, so I think my body just moves a lot better and it just feels a lot stronger when I'm booze-free. And I feel like my body is appreciating me more for not poisoning it. And it gives it back.
There's a quote of the week. Write that down or tweet it if you like.
And that's us. That's what I have on. Hang on, I've got a couple more here. Oh yeah, remembering everything. That was the benefits. Yeah, there's no blackouts. I remember conversations and remember those connections that you talked about, Breeza, that you were having with people so much as well. Yeah, that's the benefits. How good are they?
So many.
So now let's talk about the benefits of drinking alcohol. None.
Radio silence. Love it. I had another girl actually write to me saying there's too many to mention. And so I said, we're actually using this for a podcast. Can you flick me some?
Yeah.
And she goes, yeah. She goes, I had this like really bad tendency to like flirt with a guy over text, and then I wake up the next day and like, oh my god! So that was funny. And then I had another listener write in and say, telling my ex I miss him.
Oh,
and she's like, and I don't like I don't miss him. And she's texting my ex boyfriend and telling him that I miss him.
Oopsie daisies. Did she reply?
I think it was radio silence.
Yeah. Oh, no.
It's time for the recommendation of the week.
You sort of touched on this. I think we had a conversation about it, actually, Maso, is filtering your content on social media to only see content you actually want to see.
Yes.
Game changer.
Love this so much. Oh,
so if you're seeing people's content and it's making you feel like shit, or you're comparing yourself, which another good quote, comparison is the thief of joy, which is a classic. If you're seeing that content, like, you have the power to change it. So you can unfollow. If you're on Facebook, you can, just hide their profile, do whatever.
It's true. It's a choice. You get to choose what you fill your minds with and your days. And you can still support people. You don't have to go full-blown and unfollow them. You can actually mute. There's a little mute option where you can mute their stories or mute this their hosts. So you're still supporting them, but you just don't need to see it. If it makes you feel uncomfortable or raises some sort of uncomfortable feeling, get out of there. Don't do it to yourself.
100%. So that's my little weekly reco.
Love that.
Which wraps up our episode 3.
Yeah. 3 on the tree.
Hey, and we need to say thank you, everyone, for listening. We have been loving watching how many downloads we get.
Yeah.
Because we know that then people listening to our content and hopefully you're getting something from it.
Yes, thank you so much. We love having you here and hopefully we're making a little difference. That's the whole purpose of us being here, is if we can help one person, our job is done. And we've got a lot to say, so keep tuning in. Tell your mates. Thank you.
Absolutely. And in the weeks to come, we're actually going to start interviewing some peeps.
Yeah.
That we may say, which is exciting.
Yes, who are alcohol-free and hearing their story, which is super exciting. Yes.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Everybody. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.